Hi, friends. I'm back. I needed some time to just be alone. I'm still actually taking time, but excuse the mess and the things on my bed. I'm cleaning and selling a lot of stuff on Vinted at the moment, so have things kind of all over the place. And I was like, trying to just, I don't know, spring cleaning. Anyways, so I don't even know where to begin. I literally made a video about this already, but I made it like the day of or the day after. And I was still kind of in total shock. I didn't know what I was feeling at the moment. A part of me was just feeling irritated and annoyed. Um, and then I felt sad a few days later. And then I felt like I didn't care. And then I felt sad again. And then I felt like I'm missing a nail. But anyways, and then I felt like I don't even know. I probably should have journaled, but I didn't. I was just going through the motions. But long story short, if you've seen my other videos, then you know that in like September last year, I got kicked out of this guy's house for the first time ever in my life. Like, I've never been kicked out of anyone's house before. And it was allegedly a misunderstanding. Allegedly. But yeah, this time I got kicked out of someone's house again as a guy. I don't know what's up with these European guys and kicking people out. I think it's kind of rude. It's never happened to me in the States before. And I've been to many guys' house, even if it was just to do nothing, like nothing at all. And I've also been like annoying my whole life. So, uh, never been kicked out of England's house until I moved here. And I've lived in South America and I've lived in the US, and I've been someone's house guest for multiple days, weeks, etc. And it just never happened until recently. I got kicked out again, and this time it was way more like both times it was super sudden, but this time it was way more aggressive and rude. It was much ruder than the first time. The first time was just kind of like rude, like wake me up out of my sleep and kick me out. But this time it was like, get the fuck out of my house, rude. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, so basically, long story short, it's a long story, and honestly, I don't even know if I can. It's not even a long story. Actually, it's quite a short story, but if I get into like my side and all the details, then I think maybe it would be a bit oversharing. But I kind of want to talk about it because I feel like I should. And I mean, I don't know. I think just my friends watch these videos, but maybe someday somebody will see this video and I can save her from doing some dumb ass shit that she didn't even know was gonna come for her. But maybe she knew, because this was not the first time something like this happened. But you know what they say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's what they say. And I just didn't believe them. But anyways, long story short, when I was living in Luxembourg, I started talking to this guy. And it was like moving really fast, but also was like we barely know each other. Like, we've only known each other for like 5 weeks in total. And I met this guy at a bar. And, it happened so organically that I just thought to myself, oh my God, this is too good to be true. God sent me a man. And so a part of me was just being delusional. Like, I was really thinking a lot the past few days about my past self and my relationship experience, etc., etc. And I actually don't have a lot of relationship experience. I actually have never dated anyone super seriously. Maybe once, and that lasted about 8 months. After that, I dated someone, and I would say that lasted about 5 or 6 months. And then after that, I just never really, like, I had a guy that I was like talking to, but I wouldn't say we were dating. I would just say we were like really good friends with benefits, but we didn't go on dates or anything. Like, it was just hanging out all the time and talking to each other, getting to know each other, but we weren't dating per se. Like, it was not official. I don't know. He's just kind of like a best friend now, but not even a best friend. He's just like someone that I know very well, that knows me very well, and I know him very well. And, you know, we can tell each other about things, and it's cool. And anyways, so I say all this to say I have never really been like a dater. Like, I think about even when I go back to high school, like my first boyfriend in high school, I had two at the same time. So I have never experienced this traditional dating. I have this boyfriend and we're really, really, really committed to each other. I've never experienced that. Like, and the guys that I have tried to be committed to, I realized that maybe they really didn't even like me in the end. They just liked the idea of me, but once it was time to like really get to know me, they weren't really fucking with me. So I don't really care personally because I'm gay. So like I'm not gay, but like I'm bi and I have a preference for girls. But okay, we're just gonna stop right there because it's not the place, not the time for that. But anyways, I got kicked out of my fucking house. It was so aggressive. I would say it was borderline domestic abuse, not domestic, verbal abuse. I was getting called all kinds of bitches and motherfuckers and all that shit. And I can't even really say the reason why this happened because I wasn't really 100%. Oh my god, I left my window open. Fuck. You gotta die, babe. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know where you're going. I don't want you in here, and I won't be leaving my window open anymore. It's just hot outside, and I don't want to use my air. Or it's hot in here, and I don't want to use my air conditioner. But anyways, so yeah. Long story short, I went to go visit this guy because I moved to Paris. He moved to Spain, so we're not living in Luxembourg anymore. We don't really see each other anymore. And we were kind of keeping in contact, but we weren't texting a lot. But we just kind of had this idea that we were like into each other and we wanted something serious with each other. And at first, I was very much a love bombing situation. I think personally, because even I was a bit overwhelmed, but I was like loving the attention and everything. So I was into it. And also, I was like, just, I love dating people. So, like, not dating people, but, like, when I get a new person, I'm like, ooh, like, I really love that feeling. So, I was talking to this guy, and we were having great conversation every now and again. And we were totally different. Like, I'm super artsy, into the arts, and he's, like, NPC, So, I was really like, okay, this is interesting. I like it. And we were kind of like seeing eye to eye on a few things, and where we disagree, we were still able to like kind of understand each other. So that was nice. But the more that I got to know him, the more I noticed like he's kind of a messy person. And I don't mean messy like dirty, like, I mean, he was kind of that too, but it wasn't so bad. It was just like, you're a boy. But I mean, he was messy, like drama messy. And I'm not really a messy person. Like, I think drama is cute. but to be involved in it constantly, I'm just not interested. Like, I don't have the energy for that. And this guy was slowly showing me like who he really was, and I feel like I'm pretty consistent about my personality. Like, I don't know, the only thing that really is different is like if I'm really close with someone, I'm more unfiltered. When I'm not super close with someone, I'm more filtered and reserved. But also depends like who the person is. If it's a person who, I don't know, is, first of all, it's already kind of like difficult to be my full total self around people who are non like native English speakers, and also who like don't really know much about Atlanta culture, gay culture, etc., etc. Like, a lot of stuff that I would say would just go over their head. So I don't even know like how to fully express myself lately. So anyways, I say all that to say this guy was different from me and I was different from him, and I think we liked that about each other. And so we were just kind of vibing off the fact that we met someone that we had things in common, but we were very different, or that we were able to have like, you know, conversation, but we were very different. I don't fucking know. I think I'm just making this shit up, but anyways, so I have paint on my, because I was painting. Anyways, me and this guy, we were supposed to see each other in the summer, and I had some time off. Like, I had like a week of vacation, and he was like, yo, you can come see me in Spain, and you can stay in my place. He's living with his mom now. So yeah. And he was like, yeah, you can come stay with me, you're gonna meet my mom, blah, 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 etc., etc., blah, blah. And first mistake I made was buying my own ticket. I don't know why I did that. I've never done that in the past, to go see a guy ever in my life. I just think I was blinded by what I thought was like a really, really rare situation. Like, oh my God, this guy that I met in the bar and we just clicked and blah, you know, like, I thought, why not? But I have to stick to my boundaries. If a guy is for me, he's not going to make me pay to come see him. But I dropped my boundaries for this guy, and that was my number one problem. So whatever, we move on. Anyways, the day comes. Mind you, I was super excited to see him because I thought I really liked him. And he had been kind of helpful in the past. Like, when I was moving from Luxembourg, he opened his apartment to me, let me stay there. And I didn't really do anything for him when he did that, because I was just kind of like manic, just trying to get my life together, figure out how I'm about to get all my stuff from Luxembourg to Paris. Just a lot of logistics stuff that I didn't have figured out, because a lot of people don't know, but when I quit my job in Luxembourg, they gave me like 4 days to move out. So, and then the new job that I had lined up, I couldn't start until after the weekend, because nobody would have been here to like open the doors or let me get into my studio or anything. So he allowed me to like stay there for the weekend. And this is when I should have known like that it's possible that this could happen again. But I mean, it was just cute drama for the moment, and so I was like feeding into it. But I don't even want to say we got into an argument, because it was definitely one-sided. He was yelling at me, and I am very much like, I hate when people yell at me. I completely shut down when people yell at me, because I'm not a screamer. I don't yell. Like, I've had my time with that when I was like in high school, you know, like going back and forth with your parents and screaming to the roof of your lungs so that nobody can hear each other. Like, I'm totally past that. I don't fuck with that shit. But we had this little dumbass situation, and he basically at that time threatened to kick me out when he like knew I didn't really have anywhere to go at the moment. And I think it's very possible that I was really acting in my like survival mode, because I was like, I'm so sorry, like, because I really didn't know like what I was gonna do, honestly. So maybe that's why I reacted so calmly to that. And also I kind of like, I don't know, like I just wanted to like de-escalate the situation, and I don't know, we talked about it, and I mean honestly, I didn't do anything wrong in that situation. I didn't, honestly. And I apologize because I just wanted the screaming to stop. And also, he did kind of call me dumb that day as well, which that's so rude. No one has ever said that to me, to my face, and screamed it at me. Like, that was definitely a red flag. Sorry. Anyways, that was definitely a red flag. And but I just ignored it because I was like, I like him, and I don't know, we had this like cutesy drama before. And also I think like my confusion was like, are we flirting? Like, I know that sounds so stupid, but we had like this situation like a day or two or something prior to me staying with him for the weekend in Luxembourg, where I wanted to leave a party that like hang out with his friends that he invited me to, because I was the only girl there. They were playing video games, and my friends, my female friends, they were out like in the city having a drink and, you know, probably talking some shit or whatever. So I was like, I kind of want to go. And then he got mad and he was like, okay, well, if you leave, like, I never want to talk to you again, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, you know? And I was like, okay, fine, well, I'm gonna go. And I needed to get my stuff out of his car, and then he wouldn't unlock the car. He didn't unlock the car, and then he came downstairs, we talked, whatever. So I don't know, I thought like it was just like, okay, if you want to go, then go. Like, okay, I'm gonna go, like, don't leave. Like, you know, some cutesy like flirtatious drama. That's what I thought it was. I didn't think it was anything, you know, to be concerned about. The screaming about the door. Oh, okay, first of all, I got yelled at about a door that I did not even touch. Like, I did not leave the door open or anything. This was the first time. And it's so funny because the second time he actually did kick me out, and it was about a fucking door. What is with this nigga indoors? I don't fucking know. I could give two fucks less, but also just like, why are you crazy? Like, anyways, fast forward, I went to go see him in Spain. And I went to go see him. When I got there, the first day was a little bit awkward just because we hadn't seen each other in a while. And we're both in like two new places in our lives. So it wasn't so awkward. It was just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's you again. Cool. So the first day was actually not bad. And then it started to get a bit weird on my end. Like, I was already getting triggered after day one because we had this situation, and I would say it was a sexual situation, where something happened during sex, and after it, I was like, basically, I need a fucking plan B, basically. And he was, I think, just assumed that maybe I was on like some kind of birth control or something, which I'm not. I don't take birth control or anything. I just don't have sex or use condoms. And I had previously been like super, super duper serious about us using condoms for personal reasons, and also because I don't know what he's doing in his free time. It's none of my business. Just like what I do is none of his business. But on that day, we just kind of, you know, we're grown, you know, when things get real hot real quick, and all that shit just flies out the window. So that happened. And basically, I got some lip about wanting a plan B, basically. And that really triggered me, like, actually just kind of put me in this mood that was like, why is this even something you're gonna argue with me about? Like, I don't wanna, do I look like somebody's mama? Do I look like I need to be having a kid right now? Because I don't need to be having a child right now. It's just not possible. It can't happen. So, yeah, that happened. And so after that, I was already kind of like in a weird mood. But I was like, I'm in Spain. I'm visiting this guy that I like. So I'm going to try to have a good attitude. So I let it go. We moved on. We got the plan B. And I was just like, let's move on. So then I actually took it. And that kind of put a damper in my mood for the following day because it has side effects. So I was like really tired. I could barely even remember my fucking name. Like, it was just, honestly, I was just not in the mood. I was not in the mood. And then we went to the beach. Mind you, there was a fucking dog. And anybody who knows me knows I'm really not a dog person. I have a dog. I like dogs. But I prefer cats. I prefer things that don't run around so much and bark and jump on you and lick you. And no, thank you. You know, I'm really okay with not having that around me. So, there was also a dog in the picture. He had just got a dog. And I was already getting a little bit irritated because he was getting irritated with me for not controlling his dog. Like, this is not my fucking dog. What do you want me to do? This is your dog. Like, I didn't ask for this dog. I don't want anything to do with this dog. And it was a cute dog. She was sweet, but like, we would be in the car. She would be jumping up, like, if he got out the car to look for him. And he was like, I don't want her scratching up my car. Just hold her, control her. Well, like, this is a big ass dog. I am not that big. I'm like 157 centimeters and I weigh like 50 kilograms. I am not that big. Me and your dog are the same size. So what do you want me to do? This is not a puppy. Like, it's a puppy, but it's not like a little small puppy. What the fuck? It's a fucking animal. And I'm scared of dogs a little bit. Like, I'm low-key a little bit scared of dogs. So, you know, like, the expectations were really up here when they should not have been. They should have been down here for me and this dog. But they weren't, so that was also a little bit annoying. And, you know, I was like, okay, it's fine, it's fine. And then the whole, like, my mood with, after taking the plan B was super shitty. It was awful, because I was just, I don't know, I just didn't feel good. I was tired as fuck. Like, I was literally fatigued. And it felt like I took, like, a allergy medicine or a Benadryl, like, something that's drowsy, like makes you sleepy, but you can't go to sleep. That's what it felt like. And, you know, I was just trying to stay awake. And I think at one point I did fall asleep in the car. Anyways, he asked me to go into the grocery store to grab some steak and some produce, blah, blah, whatever the fuck. And I went in and I was like, just grabbing shit. Because first of all, the produce was shit. Like, it was like a grocery store that had couches. And it was like, I feel like it was the equivalent to shopping at like a Walmart or a Target or something. So I don't know how else to explain it here because I feel like Auchan, I don't really shop there. I mean, I prefer the markets, honestly. But if not a market, then like maybe one of the smaller shops like a Franprix or something. But I wouldn't go to Monoprix for food. I think Auchan is not a bad option for food sometimes, but I don't really shop in there for food. I don't really shop for food unless there's a market literally like 600 meters from my house, so that's where I go get food. But anyway, so yeah, it was like, I don't know. And also I just didn't feel like calling him and asking questions, and I was like, I'm a big girl. I can handle this. I can do this. But I ended up getting all the wrong shit. So he got really upset about that as well. And I mean, I realized I probably could have apologized about it, but I can't get mad at myself for something when I wasn't even in a healthy state, like health-wise at the time. Like, I was literally dying. inside. Like I was just not feeling good. And anyways, so that was that situation that day. Mind you, I was supposed to be there for like 5 days. I only stayed for like 3 or 4. He sent me home like the day before I was supposed to leave. My flight was literally the next morning at like 6 a.m. and he kicked me out the day before that. So yeah, basically we just ended up having a conversation that night. Like, I don't think, maybe we're just too different. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's just go to bed. And so the next morning we both woke up and I thought to myself, okay, maybe today's gonna be a better day. I feel better today. I don't feel tired. Like, I feel like I got some rest. I needed it. Blah, blah, blah. And we both woke up and we just both seemed to be like in better moods that day. Like, we were talking to each other. We were like, let's make breakfast. In between breakfast and me getting kicked out, I don't know what the fuck happened, but this nigga like took a total switch on me. And mind you, I think for myself, like as a house guest, you invited me here. This is not my house. I've only been here for 3 days. I feel like I was very helpful. I made the bed one morning and I unloaded the dishwasher one day. That's so nice. Come on, that is so nice. Like, what the fuck? I shouldn't be doing anything, but I'm being helpful. And also, any guy that I've ever stayed at their place ever before, I never had to do anything. And if someone comes to my place, they don't have to do anything. Because this is not your place. And you are my guest. Like, I've had people stay at my house for days. I've had people stay with me even just for one night. You're not obligated to do anything. Honestly, like, this is not your place. Whether I invited you here or not, if there are dishes that need to be cleaned, I'm going to take care of the dishes. If there's food that needs to be cooked or we need to eat, I'm probably going to make sure you eat as well. Like, I don't know. I think house manners maybe are just a bit different everywhere. But also, I really don't know. I think maybe after the day I was just kind of out of it and got the wrong steak or whatever the fuck, I think he was just kind of done with me. So I wasn't really expecting him to pull this shit out of his ass again. But I don't know why I didn't think about it. Anyways, because of prior events. But anyways, I'm checking the time because at some point I still have to go to work. I don't want this video to go over like a certain amount of time, but so yeah, then we were making breakfast. I don't know what the fuck happened. I honestly can't tell you what happened. Like, I don't know. Just at some point I was getting yelled at for dishes. And I thought it was a joke at first. Like, I was not taking it seriously at first. And I was like, no, I think before the dishes, I don't remember. I really don't remember the order of events that day, but there were 2 things that happened. One thing that happened is he went to the bathroom. And I don't know. I think the dishes were first, honestly. Something about, who do you think is going to wash that dish? Some dumbass shit. Like, am I supposed to wash the dish? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was gonna help anyways, but it was just kind of like, just because that's just how I am. I was gonna help anyways. I always try to be a little bit helpful because I don't want to be like, I don't know, just a bad house guest. But even when I don't try to be a bad house guest, I just guess for some people I'm a bad house guest. Even though, I'll get into that in a second. Whatever the fuck. But after the dishes conversation, I can't remember what came first, the dish or the fucking dog. I don't remember. After the dishes, at some point, he went to the toilet. The door was open from the kitchen to like the patio or the outside area. The dog runs inside looking for him and goes upstairs where the bedroom is because he's looking for his papa. And so I'm like, oh my God, I don't want him to say anything about the dog going upstairs. I don't have the energy for this. So I go upstairs to get the dog. Of course, when I go upstairs, there's a guest bedroom that the door was supposed to stay closed. Like, don't let the dog in the room. I don't want her to mess it up. The door was open because, I think I went in there for 5 seconds and I left the door open. But there was no dog in the house at the time. So what the fuck? Who cares? The dog was upstairs. She didn't go in the room or anything. She was just sitting there. And I was like, oh, come on, you know, like, come downstairs. I didn't really want to grab her because, like, I don't want to pull the dog. I barely want to get close to it at this point. Like, this is not my dog. Like, so, I don't know. I'm like, come downstairs, you know? And he comes out the bathroom. And he sees that the door is open. I look at the door and I roll my eyes because I'm just like, oh my God, like, here we go. And he just starts screaming, you're so fucking rude. You don't listen to shit. Get the fuck out. Pack your shit. Get the fuck out. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, I'm going to just go look for the flights because you already triggered me. And you yelling at me again. And the first time, I let that shit slide. This time, you ask me to leave, I'm gone. So, thank God my dad works for Delta. Because your girl was out of there very quickly. And I don't know if... I mean, I can't even begin to tell you what's going on in his brain. I just know, like... He was yelling at me, like, with anger. I can't even act out how he yelled at me because I cannot even get that loud, personally. Like, I have a girl voice, and I cannot be that loud. And also, I don't even know if I can be that angry over something so small. I've had many situations in my life where I could have been angry and gone off on a bitch. And it's just not my personality, honestly. Like, I genuinely cannot do that. I don't know why. It's just not a part of my characteristics. Like, so my mom, I don't think my mom has ever yelled at me like that. I don't think my dad, and me and my dad and my mom, both of my parents, we have gotten into some heated discussions, and if they did yell at me, I want to say it was for over something reasonable, like grades, or I don't know, being fast, boys or something, you know, something reasonable. Dishes? That and a dog, that's not mine. I don't know about that one. And for me, it was just really shocking because we had conversations before where I thought maybe he liked me. But I don't think so. Just to like give a little bit more information, this guy was definitely a little bit older than me, but not like 40 or something. He was in his 30s. We're still unclear about the age. I want to say he was like 32, 33, 35. Je sais pas. I don't know. Je sais pas. But yeah, so I was crying because I was like, not again. Like, Jesus, what did I do to deserve this? So, yeah, I ended up just leaving. At some point, I was sitting outside the front gate because I just was like, I don't even want to be inside of the gate of this house anymore. Like, because at some point, I was just standing there waiting for my stuff. His dog came out, like, barking at me. And he's just, like, trying to get the dog to go back in the house, not acknowledging me. And the dog's, like, barking viciously at me. So I just waited outside the gate. And then at some point he came and he was like, you can come back inside the gate. Like, you can wait inside. Or do you need a taxi or something? Like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to look at you. Like, you just, like, and while he's screaming at me over some dishes, like, he's calling me a bitch. Like, you're fucking stupid. You're so fucking young and dumb. Like, okay, you're old and you live with your mom, so fuck off. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, so I mean, I don't really see the point in arguing with someone that, like, okay, you know, after the fact, I was like, I'm young and I have tits, so life's good. But you're old and have a small penis, and you live with your mom. So when I realized that, I didn't really give a fuck anymore. But I was just kind of like, I don't know. As a girl, I just kind of get irritated when and it's not anybody's fault but my own, these certain things. When I take away some of my boundaries for a guy and they show me exactly why I should not have done that. Like, if I was being the real city girl I am, and those of you who know me, you know, I would have ran that nigga's pockets. But no, I was like, I don't want to live that life anymore. I just want to be in love, like regular person. But I don't think I'm a regular person. Honestly, I don't. Because that shit is for the birds. And it's actually, there was a point that I was going to go back to, but I totally forgot it. But I say all this to say that it's very possible that I'm not, oh my God, flyaways are gonna, it's very possible that I'm not fit for a traditional relationship. I mean, even like in my dreams, I don't see that for myself, like married in a house with kids. Like, if I have a partner, we can live in the same neighborhood or same building or whatever the fuck. Just can you be my next door neighbor? Like, I don't want you in my house. And also, if I have a kid one day, I'm just not even sure that's gonna happen. Like, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I mean, I don't even know if it would be nice. Like, I'm just not ready for that. I'm not there yet, mentally, physically. Just not something I want to think about at the moment. But yeah, I watched this videos on TikTok because some girl was talking about it. It's a couples therapy show on Showtime, and I watched a few episodes, and it was definitely interesting. Like, it doesn't make marriage or being in a traditional relationship with a guy look like something that I want. And I will say, it is very possible that I'm not attracting good guys. It's very possible. But I don't know what the but is. It's just very possible I'm not attracting good guys. I don't know how I can change that. Even the girls that I've been with have just been questionable. So maybe I'm a questionable person. I don't know. I think I'm just trying to have fun. And then when things aren't fun anymore, I'm like, I don't like it. But I don't know. So anyways, yeah, that's the tea. I got kicked out again. It was okay because, like, I just called my dad and I was like, I need to go home. He's kicking me out. And my dad was like, okay, just stay on the phone. Let me get you on a flight. Are you okay? Did he put his hands on you? Blah, blah, blah. No. If he would have put his hands on me, I already wanted to call the police on him. But if he would have put his hands on me, I don't think that would have ended well for him, honestly. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I can say I'm a survivor now. But it's just shocking to me that people actually deal with that. It's not shocking. It's sad. But it's not shocking that people actually deal with that on a regular basis. And the crazy thing to me is, like, I'm not sure if it felt like there was definitely some kind of like abuse of power. Like even the first time he pulled that shit, you know, just to see like, I don't know. My best friend, he said he's gonna give me some hood bitch classes because I'm not hood enough or something. I don't know. I'm not. I'm from the suburbs. Oh my god. Like what the fuck? And like my mom was single growing up, but after I turned like 15, she's been married ever since then. That's like almost 10 years or 13 or something like that. That's almost 10 years. So living with my mom and her husband, this is not something I have ever experienced. And I lived with them full time for at least 5 of those years, 6 of those years, maybe 7 of those years. So, yeah. That was crazy. It was crazy. So, I'm a survivor. Will I be dating again? Yes. Will I be paying for my own shit? No. Never again. I tried that shit and I'm good. I'm not interested. Somebody else can have that. I don't even know why I tried it. It's like tasting some food you know you're not gonna like, but you just try it anyways. But it's only good like the first 2 times. What's a good example of this food? Like a fucking banana. Bananas are only good like twice ever in my life. And other than that, I just eat them because... No, that's not a good example. Actually, never mind. Sorry. Anyways, so yeah. If you are a girl and you get with a guy and he yells at you, run. If you are a girl and you get with a guy and he doesn't want to pay for your plane ticket to come see him, run. If you are a girl and you get with a guy and he has a dog, run. Get out of there. It's not going to end well. If you are a girl and you live and you get with a guy and he lives with his mom, out of there. Go. Run. Like, I don't live with my mom. I have not lived with my mom for like 3 years. I have maybe lived with her for 1 or 2 in total of those 3 years. I would say 5 months I have lived with her. 5 months out of those 3 years since I moved out. I don't want to move back home. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. Never say never, because it's very possible that maybe one day I need to move back in with my mom. And if I do, she's going to let me come back and she's going to embrace me with open arms and she's going to treat me like a baby, okay? And that's why I treat my house guests like babies. Because it's the proper thing to do. Anyways, thanks for watching my video. I hope that you can learn something from this. If you're a guy, I hope that you can learn not to be a shitty guy to sweet girls. And if you're a girl, I hope you can learn not to entertain shitty guys that have mental issues and are literally maniacs and are psychotic and have dogs and want you to wash dishes and pay for your own shit. I mean, am I making some sense here? Let me know, because I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. My name is Eddie. And I don't know what I'm doing with this channel, just vibing. So if you like to vibe, stick around.